finished up the main part of the legs here. This is the glue I've been using. Plastic bonder, 2-part epoxy. Reason this is on a black background is not because they're white pieces that show up better on a black background, but the board, flat MDF, 3/4 inch MDF board that I use normally to put the stuff on I'm filming, is currently got the top ring of the body on it being glued flat, so that's why I brought this in here. Just some black poster board. Yeah, so this video I added on, since the last video, the side pieces. So if you remember, the legs consist of 3 different pieces, and then there are these side pieces on the top and the bottom that act as like a reinforcement to help hold it all together to make them as strong as possible, because you've got these dovetail joints that you glue, and then you've got these side plates that glue, and they're this long, really long. They have nice indentations that go into both pieces, glued along the whole length to really hold that structure together. Same thing with these. Also in the notches in between or on either side of the glue joint that holds these 2 pieces together. These are angled. Hopefully that shows up on camera. There we go. You get stair stepping when you print rounded parts. Printed it lying on the side that I'm showing. Or no, I didn't. Printed it on the side that's facing down. And so you get stair stepping. They call that effect as the 3D printer lays down a layer, next layer, next layer. The higher resolution, the more steps, which means each step is smaller. The lower the resolution, more steps, fewer steps, but wider gap in between them. So I believe I printed these at 0.2. Everything else I did on the legs at 0.2, so I'm pretty sure I did these also at 0.2. So those definitely need to be hit with some filling material to get them more rounded, but also you've got a glue joint, so that needs filler material, and then this whole thing. So basically the whole thing needs some filler material and primer. As I move it, hopefully you can see the reflections of the light catching part of the we're going left to right. So it's not a perfect circle. It's made up of small movements that together form a circle. So that should be smoothed out with filler and primer and painted. In this area, there's what they call a greeble, little piece that gets printed, eventually colored silver, that goes in here. And this is a hole for printer filament. 1.75 millimeter printer filament goes into this hole, and the other end would go into the greeble that sits in here to kind of hold it in place. When I printed this piece, I had some support structure involved, and the support structure has blocked the hole, so I'm probably going to need to, I'll probably cut that flush with a knife and then use a drill to drill through the hole to open the hole up again, because just pulling on that with pliers is not pulling it out of the hole. And it's like that on both sides and for both legs. The reason I use support material was for this part here. Prints upside down in this orientation, and so this part here is not supported by anything, so the printer has to go all that distance with no support, and so the plastic will sag a bit until it finally gets enough plastic built up that it can bridge across it easily. So I went ahead and threw support area in there so it'd have a little easier time, but that meant that the support filled this hole, this small hole. So I figured that wasn't that big of an issue. I'd rather have a slightly better finish in these pockets, so I'd have less time trying to fill and sand these pockets smooth. It's easier to drill a little hole than it is to spend the time with filler getting something smooth that isn't. Next up for these is obviously, you can see that there's glue all over these things. All over them. So the inside glue shouldn't matter. It's not interfering with any attachment points, so it should be fine. But this glue on the outside definitely needs to be sanded down flush. This glue as well. And it's on, of course, both sides of the print. I went ahead and mixed up a little more glue and used a fine flat blade screwdriver to kind of push it along and into these areas that, remember, were a little bit open because my printer, when I joined these two pieces together, they didn't go perfectly flush. They were meeting at the top more and not so much at the bottom. So I put them this way down on a flat surface to glue them so that the front that you see, that the rest of the special greebles, the horseshoe and the booster cover and all that stuff go on here. I wanted all that surface to be as flat as possible. This faces the droid, so it's not as important. So I had a bit of a gap in there where the glue didn't quite fill it. So I put more glue in there to fill that gap up. So basically I have a lot of sanding to do on these pieces front and back, and adding filler. It's like I can feel a little step down here where this plate was a little bit further down than it should be, although it actually feels pretty flush on top. So yeah, all the areas that aren't flush I'll have to bring up or down depending on which way they're off. Sand this glue off first and then get some filler involved. One reason that I did this with the glue and not just do it with filler is I thought that the glue might be maybe a little more flexible. Poking at it with my finger, it does feel like it's not like rock hard. The body filler tends to get pretty hard. So if I put body filler in there in the crack and it flexed at all, there might be a chance that it would crack. Whereas I think that getting the glue in there, I think there's probably less of a chance of the glue cracking. It might give a little bit instead of cracking, like a hard two-part body filler. And that's what I am going to use probably, is the two-part Bondo body filler, not just the glazing putty. Just because some of these areas are a fair distance, these corners, a little bit of warping on the two parts, so there's a bit of low spots there and a bit of low spots across here where the seam is. It just seems to me that using the two-part body filler will more quickly raise it up than doing multiple coats of the glazing putty. which is only a 1-part product, or it's a 2-part mixed and the other part evaporates when you use it out of the package. I'm not exactly sure how you would say that, but the 2-part body filler, you mix the 2 parts together and you only have a few minutes before it starts to harden. And working on my other hobby, arcade cabinets, I've done a lot of repair work on wood with 2-part auto Bondo putty, and I really like the stuff. It does a really good job, and it gets hard. It dries a bit quick. The warmer the temperature, the quicker the stuff dries. In the summer, the thing dries in just minutes once you've mixed it. But it should take less applications of the 2-part than it does of the 1-part. And I would think that the 2-part would be stronger if you're filling a gap, and it's a bigger gap. I would think that would be a stronger fill using the 2-part Bondo than multiple layers of the 1-part Bondo. I could be totally wrong, but using the 1-part stuff and sanding it, it sands so easy because I believe it's like talcum powder in some kind of an epoxy, something like that, some kind of a glue, talcum powder type of thing. So it sands super easy and the dust comes off like crazy, whereas the 2-part Bondo does not sand quite as easy. It does sand all right, but it seems to me that it's a harder overall product. And if I'm dealing with a larger imperfection, like some of these lines where in between the glued parts, and anywhere that, like I said, might be a low spot, that might be more than just a slight imperfection, something that's you can definitely feel with your hands as you're going across it. It might be better to fill that with 2-part instead of the 1-part glazing putty. That's just based on my experience using both of those products now. So yeah, that was quite a bit of glue. I used a lot of glue to make sure I got these strong and secure. As I've said before, these are supposed to take a lot of stress, a lot of weight, because they are attached to the shoulder units. They go down to the feet, and then they support R2's body in the air. So it's supported by the 2 outer legs, and the center leg is supporting all of his body weight. So I think they turned out good. I'll know more once I start the finish work, sanding those down. But I'm happy with the way they've turned out. I am currently working on, as I said at the start of the video, the top ring of the body. That's in my hobby room. I'm not going to bring that out because I just finished gluing the last piece of the ring together, making the complete ring circle now glued together. And that's in the Mark III body files. It's the top ring, so you build the 3 rings of the body, and then that top ring goes on top, obviously, of the uppermost ring. So yeah, starting to make some progress. There's 2 more rings that go on the dome. Those are called the upper ring and the lower ring. If you're printing the Mark III single print dome, I think there's only 1 ring and not 2. I think one of the rings might be built into the Mark III single print dome. But I'm doing the version 2 dome, and so it's got 2 rings. I did notice a print artifact, a line around the ring that sticks up too high, and so I'm kind of working on scraping that down a little bit. And then once my flat board has got the ring that's currently sitting on it gluing taken off, I'll start gluing the pieces of that dome lower ring together. This is what I'm talking about. This is the exact same thing. You get these print artifacts where you're printing something and then it's like an echo, it's like ringing. So you printed something at this level, and then for whatever reason the printer prints something along that same layer height that sticks out a bit. So in here it probably doesn't matter as long as the hub parts fit. That one I don't even know if I'll have to sand. But I had one just like that on the lower ring part that I was just working on that goes around the outside of each piece right in the middle, and those are supposed to be flush. So I actually use the top of a file and the edge. I should have brought it out here, but I basically use it like a scraping tool and kind of scraping that ridge off. It's not very precise, but it doesn't really matter if I nick it and go a bit deep, because again, they're all gonna need filler. All the different, I think there's 7 pieces that comprise that ring. It's all gonna need to be sanded and filled and primered. So I figure it's easier to scrape those things off with a file. It takes a lot less time than sanding the whole thing, all 7 pieces, when it's a fairly high ridge. At least as high as this one, if not maybe a little bit more. Well, yeah, it's about the same as that one. But if you sand that with sandpaper, that can take quite a while. 7 different pieces, each, I don't know, maybe about this long, that comprise the ring, and it's in the middle of each one. So yeah, scraping what I can away, and then I'll do a little bit of sanding to get it a little bit more flat before I start gluing the pieces together. And then once it's all glued, just like this, I'll have seams for all those 7 different pieces where they're glued to each other. So it'll need more sanding, and then I'll take a look at what else I need sanding and filling. And that might be what I do the next week or so, is work on that ring and the one other ring. So not very exciting stuff to show, but at least I am making progress. Another thing I might do is take a look at the outer feet. The center foot shell that goes over the wheels, that's all one piece and it's printed, but the foot shells for the outer feet are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 pieces, and they glue and have some joints to be bolted together. I might work on those. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on where I get with the rings, and if I get sick of working with small semicircular ring pieces and want to do something different. But fairly major accomplishment, I think, as far as where I am now and where I have been. I've now got the 2 outer legs, frames anyway, assembled. So good news. Slow progress, but progress nonetheless.